In this video, we are looking at my total snowfall forecast for the 2025 to 2026 winter. We're going to be going over each area on the expected snowfall, on the total snowfall I'm expecting for your area. And we're also going to go over a little bit about the updates of what this winter could bring, looking at INSO status and all that. But let's get right into it here. Starting off with this gray kind of whitish color. This is where I'm expecting 1 inch to 3 inches of snowfall. And these layers will overlap themselves because pretty obviously Minnesota is going to get at least an inch of snowfall this season. But as far south as southern Alabama could potentially be seeing a dusting of snowfall this winter. You've got those mountains in California that do see snow in the wintertime as well. But for this whole area, I'm expecting at least a dusting of snowfall for this winter. And moving on to the next layer, 2 inches to 6 inches of snowfall in the white shaded areas. So this comes from southern North Carolina going through South Carolina into northern Georgia, northern Alabama, northern Mississippi. I'm expecting you could see a little bit of snowfall this season. I'm expecting an above average snowfall season for this winter. Based on what I'm seeing, it looks like a La Nina is expected, but it's not fully guaranteed. So we could also see a mix of La Nina and neutral, and that's what we saw last year. But that kind of mix can definitely bring above average snowfall to much of the country. This again goes through a lot of New Mexico and Arizona there. You've got all those mountains that take up that snow, and New Mexico definitely does see snow during the winter, as well as Arizona. Goes through Nevada and California as well, where I'm expecting for everyone in this white to see 2 inches to 6 inches of snowfall this season. Moving on to kind of a light blue, baby blue color. This is where you could expect 6 to 10 inches of snowfall, of total snowfall this season. This goes through northern North Carolina. Even again, some of these northern portions of Alabama and Georgia and Mississippi typically do see a decent snowfall every couple of years. Sometimes you'll see a big Arctic blast and then a kind of a clipper system. If it's cold enough, it'll bring a pretty good amount of snowfall to those areas. This goes through much of northern Arkansas and central Arkansas. Much of Oklahoma's in that area. And then, of course, that goes through Arizona and Nevada and California again, where you could see a, decent amount of snowfall this season. Nothing extraordinary. But now we are getting serious. This is 11 inches to 24 inches of snow. I noticed some of these colors, the white, the baby blue, and the blue, are not that far spaced apart here. I'm expecting some decent snowstorms hitting this Ohio Valley area, Tennessee Valley area for this winter. And this blue is kind of overlapping a bit here because of those Appalachians. So if you're living near Appalachian Mountains, you're going to see more snow than if you're living in western Tennessee. But again, anyone in this blue area, you are going to see 11 inches to 24 inches of snowfall this winter. This is just on the edge of Oklahoma City, but definitely Oklahoma City could be one of those cities where you could definitely be seeing a really good amount of snowfall this winter. This goes through the panhandle of Texas, going through New Mexico, Arizona, much of Nevada, and those California mountains as well. Could be seeing a really good amount of snowfall, a good amount of snow. And then we got purple, which is 25 inches to 40 inches of snow. This is a little more spaced out from, the blue here. And we're starting to get much more up north into those areas that do see a good amount of snowfall every year. Of course, you got those Appalachian Mountains, so you're going to see that above average snow. But this goes much more northward here, now into central Missouri, southern Illinois, Kansas. I'm expecting a really good amount of snow for Kansas this season. And now really starting to head north out of Arizona and New Mexico. Again, Nevada is going to see that snowfall as they do every year. And of course, those Rocky Mountains is guaranteed to see at least 35 inches of snow every year. And this area is kind of weird over here in New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Eastern Maryland. Some seasons you'll see a good amount of snowfall. Some seasons you won't see any snowfall for some of these New Jersey areas, kind of the eastern side of New Jersey and Delaware and Eastern Maryland. It's pretty much winter's unpredictable for that area. But anyways, moving on to pink. This is 40 to 55 inches of snow. We are getting serious here as this pink, of course, this is headed through Maine. Maine sees a lot of snowfall every year. Not expecting much nor'easter activity for this year. Might see one or two, but again, like last year, I believe we really didn't see any nor'easters. So not expecting much of any. I'm not expecting 3 or 4 or anything like that, but maybe one or two. Of course, we got those Appalachian Mountains, so you're going to see a lot of snowfall. This heads through much of Ohio, 40 to 55 inches of snow, northern Illinois, northern Iowa, Nebraska, and then you got those Rocky Mountains, which see a lot of that snowfall every year. So 40 to 55 inches of snow there. And the next up, we got white again. And this is more of highlighting those mountainous areas in lake effect snow. So a lot of these areas in see lake effect snow. So you see a lot of snow every season. You've got New York and Pennsylvania and Ohio that see lake effect snow. And you got Michigan here, as well as the UP of Michigan sees lake effect snow. And this white color is 55 to 70 inches of snow, of total snow this year. This white, of course, goes through much of those mountains, of those Rocky Mountains, Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, Utah, Colorado, Eastern Oregon, Eastern Washington, North Dakota sees a lot of snowfall every season. And then finally 75 inches of snowfall plus, and those are highlighting more of those, lake effect snow areas here. And those Rocky Mountains just see a ton of snow. And then so take a good look at that, pinpoint where you are, and my opinion, that's my snowfall forecast for this season. Of course, it's not going to be exact, it's just estimated snow amounts. Now look at the summary here. We're going to change our webcam back. We have a La Nina watch for the INSO alert system status, which means a neutral is present. But we are watching for La Nina. They say a transition from INSO neutral to La Nina is likely in the next couple of months, with a 71% chance of La Nina during October to December of 2025. And then La Nina is favored, but chances decrease to 54% from December to 2025 to February 26. What this means is if we see this La Nina, we're going to see this Pacific jet stream that brings much more wetter conditions to the northwest, as well as a jet stream that comes down from Canada that brings warmer and wet conditions to the Ohio Valley that heads through up into the northeast. So that would bring you colder temperatures to much of this region that's within that jet stream, and then much more warmer conditions across the south and drier conditions. So obviously that's going to bring much more snowfall to those northern areas. And if this Arctic blast that bring colder further south, it's going to bring some more snowfall to some of these areas for this winter. If you did enjoy the video, hit that subscribe button down below. Hit the like button as well. You can leave a comment and share this video with any friends or family that may want the latest forecasts on what they could be seeing this winter for total snowfall. But I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.